Hey y'all, this is Anna Alexander. Welcome to my basement for season 1, episode 15 of the series Outlander, streaming now on Netflix and Starz. Yes, this is Wentworth Prison. This is one of the few episodes. A lot of you have been very kind to give me a heads up warning on content that may be disturbing. Thank you. I appreciate so much the warning. I hope I don't come off as fragile as I am. I really am not that fragile. But I understand where it's coming from, because when you have storylines with instances of rape, which sounds as if it will be in many different forms, it is helpful to have that warning so you're not taken aback. So before I begin, let me just drop a few thoughts on entertainment and expectations. Which are expectations. So I'm warned there will be content that may be difficult. The funny thing about that is what you're expecting. So like when I was in high school, I remember one time we were talking about, World War II and the atrocities that took place during the Holocaust. And my imagination, being what it is, went crazy. And I actually made myself dizzy and I almost passed out in class. And I had to go sit outside for a while to just get myself back together. So when it came time to actually watch some of the documentaries, my teacher said, "Hey, do you want to sit this out considering what happened just talking about this?" And I said, "No, it'll be okay. It'll be fine. If these people live through it, the least I can do is watch their story and learn from their experiences." And I ended up being fine because my imagination was way more detailed and comprehensive than the stuff that was presented to me. So again, I may think I know what's going to happen, but until I know what's going to happen, I don't know how I'm going to react. Also, keep in mind, again, as always, I am bringing my past experiences with me, my observations. Why am I watching this show? It may vary. So where you think I may react a certain way, I may not react at all, and vice versa. Another thing I do, and I don't know if I've done it during this series, but I have done it in other series, and I've had comments where people didn't understand what was happening, which is, again, I am looking at things as storyteller, content creator, sort of an eye in the back of my head. So there may be a scene, especially if there's something in the scene that's really extreme, and you're sucked into that story. So you may see a person tortured or whatever is happening in that scene. That's what you see. But what I may be seeing is a writer sitting in their room, coming up with that idea. Then they go to another room full of their peers, pitch the idea. Somebody says, "Great, let's roll it." Then they cast it, they light it, they stage it, they do makeup, they film it, they edit it, and then they present it to you for entertainment. And that whole process, that energy, that's what I see in a nanosecond. That's what I'm seeing. So again, you're seeing tortured person, you're going, "Oh my gosh, they're so tortured." And I'm seeing that whole process behind the scenes and that energy, and I start laughing. So some people think it's very inappropriate because I'm not laughing at what is happening. I am laughing at what had happened to bring that moment to you. You get what I'm saying? So again, you may be seeing that like, "Oh my gosh, James is being tortured." But I may see, "Oh my gosh, Sam Higno, what did he do to prepare for that? How did he wind down from it? How was that whole filming process?" Again, expectations. I don't know how I am going to react to these scenes. Also, on that same note, with everything, especially something with a sensitive subject, I will always try to approach it from an area of respect and thoughtful. I have a friend, Eliana West, whenever she gives a workshop, please have respectful and thoughtful dialogue when talking about sensitive subject matters. And that's how I'm going to as well when I present this reaction. So there may be scenes excluded. Just know that I'm trying to be respectful and thoughtful when reacting. I don't ever mean to be salacious or titillating or anything like that. And that's the tricky subject when it comes to when you take consent away from characters and stories. Why are you presenting that in your entertainment? That whole thought process of what to include, how to include it. So again, I may be seeing that, when you saw Jamie being tortured, I'm seeing why did those story creators make those choices. So just know when this video comes out and something may be missing or not there. I don't know. I just want to, I don't want to say have an enjoyable experience watching this, but I want to, at the end of the day, feel that this episode really contributed to the plot and the journey of our characters. Yeah, there we go. So that being said, I'm ready to get into it. I've got the big cozy blanket, as you know I would have with me. I also got my drink on standby. I'm kidding. I'm not drinking this whole thing. I have a very respectful cocktail off to the side. This was just for jokes. This will just be for me to hold, to have, just in case. I hope you have your water, your tea, your wine, your juice, whatever it is. And also, I hope you've seen this episode before you watch this with me, because if you haven't, why? Oh my gosh, why? Why would you do that to yourself? Okay, let's just get to it. Thanks for being here with me, y'all. I also have a feeling that my fingers are going to be in or near my ears most of this episode. And if you see me like this, I'm not watching it. I'm just squinting my eyes so it's blurred, because you know that's how I roll. You know that's how I roll.
Nothing like being hung to make your torso stand up solid as an oak.
So he ended up being reunited with Macquarie. Interesting. Huh, I wonder what that conversation was like when they saw each other again.
When they come to get you, I'll wrap my chain around their necks and you grab his musket.
Wow.
They'll shoot us down.
Wow. Jamie, you are planning to escape already.
Dogs. Men.
Oh. Oh.
Is it the rope you're afraid of?
Oh.
No, what grieves me is to think my wife will never forgive me for foolishly getting myself hung.
Darren Macquarie.
I'm not going to let these bastards see it.
Macquarie, what are you doing?
To think my last view of the world will be a bunch of ill-formed, pasty-faced Englishmen.
You keep going out, Macquarie. You go out like you wanted.
Patriot serving my country, fighting against you lot. To the devil with England and God bless King.
Thank you, Jamie. Oh my gosh, Macquarie's still hanging. Oh! This is just ridiculous. You can see, again, I'm not laughing at him dying. I'm laughing at what they are presenting to me.
Stop! Stop the executions!
We know this is not for the benefit of Jamie.
You're on the king's business. Take that man down.
On the one hand, yay, this paused Jamie's death. On the other hand, boo, because you know why.
Compliments of Captain Jonathan Randall, Esquire. Spiegel to have a friend of means.
No, he wants him at full strength so he can torture him longer. I love how they show him not trying to give up for a second, trying to escape.
How sad that a young man in this situation would be estranged from his family. If you wished to write a letter to them, I would be pleased to deliver it to his mother.
You are thoughtfulness itself, my dear. One moment, madam.
Don't get Randall. Don't get Randall. Don't get Randall.
I don't believe a letter directly from the convict would be appropriate. However, this may give the family solace.
Those his things?
The prisoner's personal effects.
Oh, the snake. Oh, jeez. Oh. Oh, this is tough. This is tough.
And all they cared about is rolling double sixes.
I hope that's not what they're doing. I hope that they're trying to gain information of some sort.
The next round is on the two of you.
Think again. We're skint.
You seem awfully cheery about it.
Well, it's who we lost to that They need to know. No, I think it should be you.
I think you should do this outside the ears of the guys you got the information from.
Sober up and speak your piece. We will lose another client, too. Wentworth jealous. The warden insists on having his evening meal in private, after which he reads his Bible.
Well, don't be glaiked. The man's away from his office for a full hour.
Go on.
Isn't that enough?
It's a start. It's a start. You gotta,
Expected you to come alone.
Molly.
Doesn't exist in Randall's opinion.
Your petition of complaint against me, surely you haven't forgotten. You recognize this?
Did it never make it to where it needed to go?
Certain mutual acquaintances passed his words along to me, and, well, we spoke.
Mm-hmm. So the only way he's getting out of this is Randall must die. So how's Randall gonna die? How is Randall gonna die?
Sir Fletcher didn't mention naught to me about having you back here, nor about any letter to pass along.
Are you implying that Sir Fletcher lied to me about Mr. Fraser being allowed to write a letter to his family? And then perhaps you should ask him yourself.
Sir Fletcher is indisposed at present.
Why would she use that same story, get the letter? Because wouldn't that trigger him? Fletcher, that something's amiss?
Be at ease. I promise I shan't leave this room. And besides, I have my manservant here to protect me.
And who's going to protect him?
May I call you Jamie?
You can call him Laird of Lallybroch.
Do I haunt your dreams since Fort William? When you awaken in the middle of the night, is it my face you see looming in the darkness?
So my brain starts jumping to other story questions. Randall. Has Randall passed along his genes so that Frank can be born? Or does Randall have to survive so Frank is born? I don't know that. So I don't know when the fucker dies.
I want you to admit the truth to yourself.
What would that be?
That you escaped Fort William, but you did not escape me. Admit that one simple thing, and I will give you something in return. A final gift. And I will give you the death that you deserve. Clean. Honorable. Of your own choosing.
I think he chose the news. Oh my gosh, Claire, you're taking too long. You guys are taking too long.
Thought I'd check in on you, Mrs. Beecham, make sure you're...
Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh. Well, now you've got less time.
Remember, you work for an Englishwoman of noble birth.
And you remember, you've got less than an hour before Sir Fletcher returns.
I think you've got way less than an hour. Claire is not one for stealth, don't we? I don't see how this is gonna go well in her favor at all. What is her plan? Okay, this is me thinking out loud. Say she finds him. How are they gonna get out? Up and over?
Jamie?
Oh, good God. Oh, my God.
I'll be your Jamie lass.
Actually, that would be a plan. Just open all the doors. Just open all the doors and let all the prisoners free. Just running rampant.
All right.
He's trying to come up with something, and I don't know what he's trying to come up with, but...
I won't surrender. Do you?
Will you show me your back?
If it'll stop your talking.
No, don't turn your back to him. Don't turn your back to him. Because you know that's not going to stop his talking. That'll just get him started.
You
the broken one. You're the one that sees my face every night.
Oh, Jamie, I wish you had a better plan thought up than when you started this. At least, oh.
You could have killed him.
I think that's what's terrible about this episode is that the only reason Jamie is surviving so far is because of Randall. Oh, but this will be a broken leg or something.
His wrist. Hold his wrist.
Oh, not a broken hand. And now it begins. Well, at least that lets Claire find him.
Why do you force me to treat you in such an abominable way?
Well, that's abuser speech right there, isn't it?
I will not give in to coarse passion.
That's so thoughtful of him. She's not looking behind her. Oh, no. Okay, well, that's an escape, but you're still not looking behind you. Is she gonna remember the way out?
Jamie.
She's not looking behind her. She doesn't have keys for that?
You truly have a gift for showing up at the most unexpected times.
My plan of escape would have been different. Chuck it at him.
You're no coward. I will grant you that. I'm a fit match for your husband, and I cannot give you a better compliment than that.
Kick him in the nuts right now. He would not be expecting that.
Right, wake up. Your presence.
But Claire, you need a bit more of a plan of attack than just attack. Ooh. Oh, good one, Jamie. Good one. Oh, jeez. That was Keystone Cops level of,
Stop!
Oh, no. Claire's his downfall. Oh, no. Claire's his downfall.
Of me.
Is his shoulder dislocated? Is that why it's all weird?
Let her go in safety and you can have me. You can do what you wish.
Jamie, no.
This is what I kind of wish Claire was from, like, now time going to the past, because I think now time Claire would be a bit more self-defense course of fighting.
Will you allow me a brief test of your sincerity? Your hand, lay it upon the table.
The other hand.
No, the ruined one.
Don't do it.
Silence her, or I will.
Claire, just kick him in the nuts. Do the... Go Natasha Romanoff on that bastard. Oh, no. No. Okay. I'm going to rationalize this. His hand is dull with pain. All right? Right. So it won't feel much different than anything else. Right? Right. 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 Okay, maybe I was wrong. Jamie, you are too strong for your own good. You're too strong for your own good.
I haven't even begun.
Oh, fuck. Of course not.
Now kiss me. I shall return shortly.
You know he's not letting her go.
I recently heard an extraordinary rumor about you. You were accused of being a witch.
Yes.
Oh, Claire, no.
Which I am. I curse you with knowledge, Jack Randall. I give you the hour of your death.
Which is not soon enough. But that's not right now. So you've given him something to live for. So this is when I want, oh, Macquarie. See, this is when I want characters to do what I would do, and I want to enforce my will on them. Well, he did let her go outside. Interesting. He just sent her in a very different exit. How are you?
She's away safe.
How are you still conscious?
Yes.
Now this is when you get the shit beat out of you.
Shall I begin?
Now he's beginning.
Murder!
Claire. They should have taught her some bird calls or something.
Anybody?
Or something.
This is Sir Marcus McCormick. This is his home we're sheltering in.
We could use a loyal friend right now. How many men can you muster?
None.
To rescue your husband
None.
from Wentworth Prison. None. Temporary shelter I can offer
That is the extent of his generosity.
I can pay you.
A half dozen or so would give us a fighting chance.
A dozen would give us an even better chance.
You need 2. Stealthy. In. Out. Jamie's mother's pearls. No.
Where did you get these?
My husband gave them to me on our wedding night.
Did he indeed? Ellen's son. I gave these to Ellen MacKenzie as a wedding gift.
Well, that's fortuitous.
I've thought of them so often around her bonny neck. I wonder if she ever thought of me while wearing them.
Okay. So apparently Ellen had many suitors.
I left a door open at the rear of the prison.
An open door is near plan, lass.
That is true. It is true.
I sent you out at daybreak to bring in 40 head of cattle. What have you been up to all that time?
Searching.
How many did you bring in?
19.
And what the hell is so funny about 21 missing cattle?
I know how we can save young Jamie.
By finding missing cattle. Oh, there's more torture to come? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh. Oh no. It's no laughing matter that there's potentially more torture to come. Okay, so possibly you saw how my brain works when I'm watching something that is controversial is not the word, but contains sensitive subject matter. My thought goes to, why was this element placed in the story? Was it to further the plot? Was it to deepen characterization? Or was it just to cause talk so people would watch? I've not read the books. Granted, I have not read the books, and I don't know how deep into torture the books went. But even so, in books, why did you put that element? Why did you put a specifically violent scene, or a horrific scene, or even like a sexual scene? So I actually teach workshops on sex scenes, which is, don't put a sex scene in the story unless it furthers the plot. If it's just there for your characters to have sex in, it's not needed. Cut it, put something that actually drives the story forward. And it's the same thing with violence. And again, items of horrific nature is, for me, they need to have meaning. If you can cut those sections out of the story and your story continues along just fine, it's not needed. It's wasted time and space and opportunities. So for this specific episode, that drawing out of the Jack Randall scenes, I think it could have told the story pretty much the same in probably, this was 55 minutes-ish, 50 minutes. I think he could have told it in 35. Those scenes with Randall of him just taking Jamie, submit to me, submit to me, submit to me. They were a little drawn out. I can see they were trying to show Jamie is going to hold to himself. He will die on his principles. Cool. I think we could have had one less of those moments. What were we given? 3? I think we could have been given 2 and have gotten the point. Okay, so then you get Claire goes in without a plan, without a solid plan. Claire. Again, I wonder, if she was a 1980, Gillis, 1960, a 1970, 2000, 2010 person going back in time, if they had had a different approach to trying to get Amy out than 1940 Claire. We'll never know. But it makes me wonder how that would have changed. Because again, I'm trying to impart my will on these characters. I have not lived Claire's life. However, Claire's been through war. You would think she had been a part of some sort of strategic conversation going into, even though she was an army nurse, you still have some sort of strategy when you go into a war zone, triage, who you're going to treat, how you're going to do it. You're still a part of some sort of strategy session. I don't even know if my words are making sense now. Some sort of strategy session. She went in with very little strategy. And maybe it's because I personally have 3 plans when I go into anything. Best laid intention, what's probably going to happen, and if something goes completely wrong. So that way, if something goes amiss, I can turn easily and I don't panic. That's how I roll, which is why if something comes up, and I think of a lot of weird shit, if something comes out completely out of the blue to blindside me, it takes me longer to right myself and I get pissed off at that. So that's how Claire and I are very different. So it's funny, and I don't know if you do the same thing, is when you watch characters do something and they don't behave like you want them to, you're like, fuck, just do the thing. Which I know is not the point of this episode. I think the point of this episode was to show us where Jamie draws the line between his principles and what he will change his principles for. And we have learned that Claire will be his make or break. Claire will make or break him. That's a lot of pressure to put on Claire. But at the same time, if I was Claire, I would realize, oh, I personally have a responsibility, which is terrible. You should give that person a responsibility like that. I know this conversation has gone, woo, and it's probably not what you expected. But again, my brain is constantly rolling, and that's where I go. I don't know. So was this episode needed? I don't know. In the greater scheme of Outlander world? Possibly. Again, I wish the pace was just a little bit faster. Not necessarily because I want to have them get on with the torture, or I want to have the torture wrapped up quickly. It just seemed a little longer. It took longer to get where they wanted to go than they needed to. I don't know. But there we go. Those are my very quick, spur of the moment whiskey thoughts. But thank you for being here with me. I have no idea what's going to happen next. I don't know. Season finale. For all I know, that last scene will be him actually getting away, and we'll have to live through 55 minutes of torture for him to get there. But we know he gets there because there's 7 more seasons. So I hope you are with me on that adventure. Thank you again so much for being with you. And I hope you've had a palate cleanser after this 5 seconds to enjoy just to yourself, and that you've hit subscribe so you come back and find me again, because hopefully we've had a good time in the torture. Okay, there we go. So thanks again. And until next time, y'all.